Hey, good morning. I'm Mr. Tauchi.
This is Mr. Mathis.
Hey, we're the executive producers for Tiger News, and we want to welcome you to our brand new HD studio. We've got a brand new HD master control room, and you're going to actually see that today. We want to invite you, teachers and students, to let us know what students we should recognize this trimester on Tiger News. Whatever they're doing, if they're doing great work and they want to be recognized, we want to recognize their work on Tiger News.
And coaches and activities advisors, please let us know the special stories out there that we can bring to this show as well. We're going to do the best to cover them. This is a student-run show, so we'll do our very best to bring those stories to you.
Tiger News is next. Roll the open, Wayne.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tiger News. I'm going to be your anchor for this trimester, Will Hornblatt, and I thought before we get into the show this week, we might as well show you some of the improvements we made here around the studio. So if you guys just want to follow me inside, we got our brand new control room. We got all new monitors, new equipment in here. We got a director, Wayne. Holly from last trimester is here. Jace is here as well. Wayne, do you got any words you want to say to the audience?
Yes, I do. Just jacked up with all this new equipment. Super nice in here, Have a good time, man.
Yeah, it's pretty much been our motto this trimester is we just want to bring you guys a fun and enjoyable Tiger News, something a little bit different from what's been done before, I guess. If you guys look around, we got, Tauchi's room. He's got all the awesome movie posters. That whiteboard is usually where we'll, sort of explain things for the week, sort of our attack plan. And then if you notice that little Tiger Live news board over there, that's usually where we have our segments assignments. So usually we'll assign segments to given people. Like Wayne is in charge of football highlights. I'm going to be in charge of a couple interviews next week. It's just a more organized way of coordinating our show. If you guys want to follow me, we sort of redid the Tiger Radio Room. This is where we're going to be hosting the Bouquet podcast with Nick Simon, Baden Bean, and Frank Mooney. How are you? They're getting ready for the show. I think it's going to be one of our better segments that Farmington's put out. We got the editing studio, but you guys have seen that before. If you guys just want to follow me, we got the brand new audio control room. We finally have carpet in here, which is, nice. We got a brand new soundboard. Well, not brand new, but same soundboard. Way more organized. I guess a desk where we can take calls. That's cool. And then if you guys want to follow me in the studio, we have brand new HD cameras. So gone is that sort of 90s and 80s grain that came with Tiger News. It's in higher definition now. You guys get to get a better look at me, I guess. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for our studio tour. I'm going to throw it over to the boys in the podcast room. Let's see what they got.
Welcome to the Bouquet podcast, brought to you by myself, Frank Mooney, Baden Bean,
and Nick Simon.
So on this show, we're going to be talking about current and upcoming events at Farmington High School.
So what do you folks think about this year's football season in regards to the high school?
I think we had a great start against Burnsville. Got a quick win, and then we had a top EP and didn't end how we wanted to. But this Friday, we play Shakopee, 7 p.m.
Farm out.
Farm out.
Be there.
Alrighty, we got some Vikings clips from their big game against the Cheeseheads. Let's check those out. Alright, so we start off first quarter in the drive. Pass to Thielen going for a first down, and he comes a little bit short. Next play coming up is another Justin Jefferson. He's been all over the scorecards each game. He knows how to make himself some room. Passing right to him. Makes it in for a 7-0 lead. He's just real impressive out there, Next play, rushed by Zadarius Smith. Sweet Sally afterwards. Our defense rocks.
More Vikings defense in the second quarter as the Packers go for it on 4th and goal. And the Vikings make the stop. Harrison Phillips and Zadarius Smith combine for the tackle. At the end of the first half, the Vikings are driving as Kirk Cousins finds a wide-open Justin Jefferson for a 36-yard carry as the Vikings go on to score another touchdown. This will also make the Vikings go up 17-0. And just before the half, the Vikings defense steps up again. More pressure on Rodgers as he throws it deep to Harrison Smith as he jumps up for the interception to keep the Packers scoreless going into halftime.
To the third quarter we go, and more defense for the Purple People Eaters, and a sack by Jalen Hicks, and Rogers fumbles the ball, but the Vikings do recover. Great sack. That would lead to a Greg Joseph 56-yard field goal attempt. He splits the uprights for his career long in the U.S. Bank Stadium. 20-0 Vikings lead. The Packers finally responded as Rodgers calls a double reverse to Dobbs, who took it down to the 11-yard line. 2 plays later, A.J. Dillon finds the end zone to get the Packers within 13. But the Vikings responded as they drove the ball right down the field to give an easy chip shot for Greg Joseph, who makes a 29-yard field goal, and the Vikings defense would do the rest as they go on to defeat the Packers 23-7. Next week, the Vikings will travel to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. Now we have some highlights from the old and first Burnsville game. These are old. We're playing Shakopee tomorrow, not Eden Prairie. Brought to you by Wayne Keene. Let's see those.
Football team kicked off their 2022 season last Thursday night against the Burnsville Blaze, and they came out hot. Here we are, Jonathan Schrum catching the punt, bringing it back to the house for a 43-yard touchdown. Doing what he does, and he does it well. The senior captain would go on to have 2 more touchdowns in the game. On the defensive side of the ball, the Tigers were ferocious. Nice sack there by Braden Champlin, the safety. He would go on to have a great game on this next play. Pass up in the air for Burnsville, deflected by Champ. Great play. And then later on, he recovers the fumble here, and the Tigers would get the ball back. Offensively, sophomore quarterback Jonah Ask had a great game. Here he is getting his first rushing touchdown. Put the Tigers up. Later on, he shows his vision downfield, finding Brock Wyant for the strike. It was a great game from the Tigers. They would go on to win 28-9. They kick off tomorrow against the Eden Prairie Eagles at Eden Prairie at 7 p.m.
Hey guys, I'm back here on the desk, like I said, sort of in my home territory, as Wayne likes to call it, and I'm just jacked up to be here. Tiger News, brand new year, brand new trimester, a lot of opportunities to do what we want to do. With that said, we're going to jump into the news cycle for this week. So, in preparation for our rapidly approaching homecoming week, the Tiger Den store will be open today, September 15th, during all lunches, A, B, C, and D, and will continue to be open and available throughout the trimester during the aforementioned times. It is this time that you can get your Tiger Den shirts and other merchandise. The Tiger Den store gladly accepts cash, debit, and credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, what have you. We look forward to seeing you guys there. And then, if you guys didn't know, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th, celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors derived from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean islands, Central, and South America. Today, September 15th, is significant because it is the anniversary of the independence of Latin American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, and Nicaragua. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week, under President Lyndon B. Johnson, and would be expanded to President Ronald Reagan in 1988 with a 30-day period. And then, if you guys didn't know, this week's Student Spotlight falls on Aiden Bergstrom. He's a senior in here in Farmington's very own Farmington Marching Band. When asked about what he likes to do most about his activity, he said he loves the challenge that comes with playing in marching, and it is rewarding when he feels that, that feeling that comes from success. Congratulations to you, Aiden. And then for sports this week, obviously this past Friday, we had our very own Farmington Tigers head down to EP to take on the Eagles. And, unfortunately, a few injuries and a couple missed connections unfortunately led to a 51-7 victory, but I don't think that's going to deter their motivation and their drive for competitive excellence. With the lone touchdown coming from junior running back Jeffrey Branson late in the game, the Tigers will take on Shakopee Sabres tomorrow at 7 p.m. in Shakopee. I'm really jacked up to see how you guys do, and, I know you guys will bounce back from last week. Tigers volleyball put away Owatonna in 4 sets. Tigers traveled down to Owatonna on September 6th. Despite an ambitious comeback effort by the Huskies, the Farmington ended the match in the 4th set, winning 3-1. And then boys soccer has been on a roll, guys. They win the conference opener 3-0. They absolutely crushed the Blaze. And now the record, I believe, is currently standing at 1-1 with 1 loss and 1 tie. Farmington girls soccer wins the conference opener 3-0. They took on Burnsville as well, and this is their second straight shutout of a week. So congratulations, guys. Girls swim and dive defeated Eastview. The Tigers defeated the Lightning 96-84. And then girls tennis, final results were Farmington 2, Eastview 5. Valiant effort, guys. That occurred against Eastview on September 8th for an SEC match. Good on you guys. And then the Farmington Marching Band has also been killing it, guys. Great week for Farmington athletics and activities. They won the Drum Major Award and placed 3rd at Eastview on Saturday, September 10th. The ensemble gave a strong performance in the first of 3 competitive events this fall, so they got more coming up, and earned a Drum Major Captain Award from the panel of judges. And then for the fall play, Ryan Hewling has been named the director for Allswell and Roswell. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for our activities coverage, guys. We got Nick Simon joined here in the studio with the fishing team, who also has been killing it lately. Nick, what you got?
What's up, Tiger Nation? I'm here with the Farmington fishing team. Let's get a little introduction from you guys.
I'm Ian.
I'm Zach.
I'm Matt.
And what's your guys' role in the fishing team?
Well, we fish on the team, obviously. We have our boat captain here.
All right, so as far as I'm concerned, I heard you guys have had a fishing event last weekend. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we had the state tournament up on Whitefish Chain last weekend. We placed 29th out of 96. It was a pretty rough. I mean, it wasn't rough, but it was not an easy time.
For sure.
Bite window was pretty short in the morning. It was pretty cold right away.
Yeah, for sure. And let's hear some numbers. So how many bass did you guys catch? What were the weights on that?
Well, the amount of bass we caught was probably in the hundreds. We caught tons and tons of fish, but they were all about like 10 inches long.
Yeah.
And in a bass tournament, they need to be at least 12 to keep.
Yeah.
But each of the days, we can keep 5 bass. And for 2-day total, we had 22 pounds. We had 11 both days. And, yeah, we were just looking for bigger bites the whole time, and they weren't really coming to us.
For sure. And when it gets to be late in the season like this, what's your favorite lure? What's go-to for you guys?
Go-to, I mean, I like throwing jigs around this time, but in our state tournament, drop shots were catching because the water was still warm because it turned cold right away.
Yeah,
right at that time, yeah.
For sure. How about you? What's your go-to?
Well, I'm going to go with 2 here. One of my favorites, I love throwing around a chatterbait.
Yep.
And my second has to be probably a Texas rig. Just 2 really, really good fall baits.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
I love throwing around the spinner. Throwing it under trees, really draws the bass in. So probably have to go with the spinner.
Yeah. And I heard there was a little bit of a weather change, so it's hard to find some spots where they're at because there was a cold front coming through there. How'd you guys accommodate to that?
We just kind of said hopefully it doesn't really change much because it dropped a lot. It went from like 85 degrees the day before the tournament to then dropped to like 60.
Yeah.
And thankfully it heated up pretty quickly, so the fish weren't too shocked about it. But we really just kind of went with our game plan, and it worked out for us. So.
Yeah, for sure. And to get you guys going a little bit, get you moving, I got a little pitching tournament for you. I'm jacked up asking these questions, but let's get pitching for a little bit.
Let's do it.
All right. You ever get a little...
All right, let's see it. All right, he misses that one just a little to the right. That one hits the back of the cup. Just a little short on that one. He's looking good, though. Wow. Yep, that's why we have this guy on the boat. He's one of the best fishers I've ever seen. Hands down. All right, let's see if he can put it in the cup now. Just shy there. Third tries a charm, almost.
Let's see it.
Just off the rim. Well, you know, this technique is really good. Keep it under the tree if you have to get under a tree. If you see a bass or something swimming under there, you know, it's great to keep it under those branches. You know, really draws the fish in. Under docks too. Yep. Very high precision cast here that he's practicing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very hard skill to do.
All right, that's all from this segment. We couldn't get one out of the other guy, but next we're going to throw it to Baden and Frank's questions in the halls.
What is your name?
Giovanni Jackson.
How are you, Giovanni Jackson?
Good. How are you?
What would you do if you're alone in the car by yourself?
Listen to music.
Sounds good. What's your name?
Dante.
Dante, describe the color red without using any other color names.
Apple.
Well, how are ya?
What?
Jeff, what's your idea on garden gnomes?
I think they're great for the community. They protect a lot and remind me of Charlie Darrow.
Thanks. Benson, how we doing?
How am I supposed to answer that?
I haven't given you a question. What would you do if you found a penguin in the freezer?
How am I supposed to answer that?
What up, OT?
What's up, man?
How much would you charge for window washing in Seattle?
I would charge a heck of a lot because like it's like rain pouring like every day. So like if it's pouring every day, you just gotta clean it like every few hours. Like imagine if it rains a lot, you go window wash your car and then it just rains on it again. You gotta charge a lot for it, at least like $100 at best.
Good looks. Thanks, OT.
Hey, no problem.
What part of the human face is your favorite?
My eyes, because you can see everything.
Bouquet. See you later.
Rock on, Tiger fans.
Hi, I'm Hannah Kuhlander. I'm the Sentinel of FFA.
I'm Arabella Owen, and I'm the Vice President of the FFA.
I'm Haley Thielen, and I'm the Secretary of the FFA.
So FFA is a student organization for those who are interested in agriculture and leadership.
We do a lot of judging competitions, and we try to do a lot in the community, such as making blankets and doing door greeting. Some of the stuff we've done recently is volunteering at both the Dakota County and the State Fair, and we were in the Farmington Dew Days Parade.
Upcoming events are the Homecoming Parade and a bunch of judging competitions. How to enroll in FFA, you just need to be in one agricultural class for one try of the whole year.
All right, thank you, Tiger News. Back to you, Will.
Hey guys, I'm back here again, and I just have one more announcement before we wrap up the show. This upcoming week, on Monday as a matter of fact, we have the Homecoming Amazing Race. It's a fun scavenger hunt built in with many challenges. Form teams of 4 to 6 students and sign up using the Google form. Only one person from each team needs to register for it. Fill out the entire form, fill out all the members on your team, and you can just scan one of the QR codes in the Commons to sort of collect that and register that. Teams will meet in the Commons area on Monday, September 6th at 6:30 p.m. And the event goes from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The fabulous prizes will be awarded to the first 3 teams to complete the amazing race. Bonuses will be ice cream will be given out to all participants following the event, and the team who brings in the most canned goods will receive a 2-minute head start. And guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. I'm so grateful that you all tuned into Tiger News. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You enjoyed the Bouquet podcast. I'm really excited for that. And yeah, if you guys have any updates that you want to send to us in the studio, you can email us at fhstvstudio@farmington.k12.mn.us or stop in the studio in room 1405. With that, we're going to leave you with some Link Crew orientation freshman highlights. And as always, have a great Tiger Gate. Great Tiger.
2, 3.